All right, now we're going to talk about the lathe and some of the tools we're going to need. So I have my Jet 1642 lathe here. It is a large lathe. It will turn large bowls. It will turn long spindle things. None of that's needed for pens. So look at it this way. You can turn a little thing on a big lathe, but you can't turn a big thing on a little lathe. So I don't worry about that. I have 3 lathes here. I can use them all, but for this purposes, I'm going to show you this one. We have to turn it on and a speed control right here on the lathe. This is called the headstock. This is called the banjo and the tool rest. And then over here, if you can see it, this is called the tailstock. And so for turning pens, you need what's called a pen mandrel, which is this one or this one. I have 2 of them. And these are some extra bushings that we're going to need. But anyway, you put that right in there, and it's called a taper, a Morris 2 taper, as you can see. And then when they slide in and they kind of lock, they just stay in. And then the other end of the lathe, you need a live center, which means it spins, it's alive. And you put that on there like that, and then turn. You need to get that out of the way. We'll just bring that up, and then you tie it in like that, lock it down, and then the pen is going to go in here on the bushings. So that's the basic setup for turning a pen and what we need. Tools we're going to use are simple. We're going to use cutting tools. We're not going to be scraping, at least not very much, and we won't be using carbide tools. I'll teach you how to use a real cutting tool, and these are called spindle gouges. They have a small tang that goes in here. That's why you can't use them on bowls. And then this is 1 inch and this is 3/4 of an inch, and they just have a nice round grind on them, and that's what we're going to be using to cut. We have a parting tool that will help us trim down the ends if needed. We have a skew, which we can use to make really nice finishing cuts, or if you're proficient with the skew, you can cut the whole pen with the skew. They're just a little more tricky to use. They have a great result once you learn to use them. And then as a last resort, if we need to get rid of a few little bumps or something, I have a couple of round nose scrapers here. The skew can also be used as what they call a negative rake scraper. If you just put that in there like that. We'll need a little bit of sandpaper in all the grits once we get to doing the finish. And then the last step, what we're going to use to finish the pens to make a nice natural wood feeling, not wood flavor. Wood feeling is a Stockter's Wood Shop Pens Plus finish, and that'll give our pens a really nice finish, especially the wood ones when we're done. So that kind of is a quick overview of the tools we'll need, the tools you should have in your shop. If you have questions, I'll have links to some really good, acceptable entry-level tools in the description of this course.